All right, guys, I hope you guys are having a great first of the month. It is July 1st, and the Sacramento Kings made some trades and headlines today. Let's start talking about it. Let's start off with the trade that the Kings made today. They traded JONAS Valanciunas to the Denver Nuggets for Dario Saric. As time went on, when this broke news earlier this morning, I was waiting the things to pan out as far as if there's any more moving pieces that would have been announced shortly after the news broke, but this looks like it was just a clear swap. And JONAS Valanciunas is no longer a Sacramento King. Mixed feelings for sure, because I enjoyed and loved JONAS Valanciunas in the short sample size, short term that we had him for a few months and 30 plus games. But this move technically was going to make sense, because you have your rooks, your draft pick in, Renard, that you are really high on, and you got to create some room to give him some playing time. And I think it's safe to say that the Kings were pretty damn confident and comfortable that they know Renard is going to be ready to go right away. And this only makes sense. That's the way I see it. I also see that they needed some cap that they had to clear up to actually sign Dennis Schroer as well. I'll get to that in a little bit. Do I see Dario Saric being a Sacramento King? I think that there's a good chance he could be, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings do waive him, just because they wanted to get off of Valanciunas' contract and the guaranteed money that was owed to JONAS Valanciunas, and they wanted some flexibility. And let's see what happens with Dario Saric. But as of right now, he is reported to come to Sacramento, but that could change. The Kings could definitely waive him. The Kings could keep him. We shall see. Saric had a down year, injury-riddled season, but he just didn't play much in Denver with the Nuggets. But I do love JONAS Valanciunas going to Denver, teaming up with and backing up, and probably playing alongside at times with Nikola Jokic. So a good move there for the Nuggets. The Kings get off of Valanciunas, and they create some flexibility, and they create some playing time for Maxime Renard. So that's that. And shortly after that, the Los Angeles Clippers waived Drew Ebanks, and Shams went ahead and tweeted this out, that the Clippers are waiving Drew Ebanks, and Ebanks plans to sign with the Sacramento Kings on a one-year deal after he clears waivers. Sources tells ESPN. Additional front court depth for the Sacramento Kings, and Ebanks is really a solid big, backup big at best. Little surprising that this actually came news shortly after that trade that went down. This is pretty much the way I look at it. This is just a body that will be able to compete for some minutes for Sacramento. He's more of an insurance policy if Sabonis and Maxime Renard gets hurt somehow. So that's the way I think you got to have that insurance policy signing, and this is what is Drew Ebanks going to be. He's going to be an insurance policy pickup, and good for Drew. You get waived by the Clippers, and you come to Sacramento, you get a chance to get some minutes. Absolutely. But this was a little surprising of a pickup. People are saying that this is JONAS Valanciunas' replacement and a cheaper option. It could be. It could be. But the way I see it, the way I look at it, this is more of an insurance policy pickup for, if the Kings, one of the bigs, go down into Sabonis or a Maxime Renard. So Drew Ebanks is on his way to Sacramento. And now let's talk about the crazy 24 hours that it's been with Dennis Schroer. So Shams officially tweeted this out shortly after the trade that broke news about the JONAS Valanciunas going to Denver Nuggets. And, free agent guard Dennis Schroer has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Sources tells ESPN Kings officials and Mark Bartenstein of Priority Sports finalized the deal Tuesday. So, I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you guys know, there was some rumblings last night that the Sacramento Kings were trying to pull a sign and trade, and one of the pieces were going back to Detroit for Dennis Schroer was going to be Malik Monk. The fan base flipped out. Me personally, I flipped out. My phone blows up. What are we doing, Pete? Monk is still a valuable piece. No, Monk for Dennis Schroer, straight up a guard for guard. That doesn't make any sense. Why are the Kings trading Malik Monk? Listen, I'm glad it didn't go down to sign and trade. The trade, it looks like the Kings had to sacrifice JONAS Valanciunas' contract and him on the roster just to clear up some more space, just to give Dennis Schroer that full 3-year, $15 million per season. But keep in mind, guys, that third year is partially guaranteed. The Kings, if for whatever reason, after 2 years, if it doesn't work out, if they want to cut him or if they want to trade him, they have the ability to do that. And I think that moving forward, it's a deal that the Kings really liked Dennis Schroer a lot, and they wanted him here in Sacramento. So it worked out for them, and I'm glad that Malik Monk did not go back to Detroit in the sign and trade. Looks like this morning that they were considering all options as far as doing a sign and trade with the Detroit Pistons for Malik Monk, but that wasn't the case. Maybe they got some backlash, or maybe they just explored that option, but they realized they weren't ready to pull the trigger with Malik Monk yet, and they went a different route, and they got that Valanciunas trade done. And that's what led them from signing Dennis Schroer outright instead of doing a sign and trade with the Detroit Pistons. So it all worked out for Scott Perry and his regime, man. Honestly speaking, this was a very active first of the month for the Kings, and things happened today. I want to wish JONAS Valanciunas the very best in Denver. I'm glad he's been put in a winning situation to compete and contend for a championship. And I think that JONAS Valanciunas is going to be a fantastic addition for the Denver Nuggets. His time will be missed truly here in Sacramento. For Drew Ebanks, I'm excited for him to get the opportunity, man. Honestly speaking, he's been bounced around a couple times. I really thought he had a good stint with the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. And he'll definitely get a chance for sure to showcase what he's about here in Sacramento with the Kings. And Dennis Schroer as well. I'm glad that, the Kings were able to secure and get this deal and done with and out of the way. You didn't want any setbacks. If Dennis Schroer is your prize target as addressing one of the needs, and that is getting a point guard, in which that he does fulfill the need, I'm glad it's over and done with. I'm glad the deal is done and out of the way, and he'll officially sign with the Kings over the weekend in Sacramento. So with that being said, what does that mean for Malik Monk's name being heavily rumored? I think it's only a matter of time Malik Monk will be probably moved. But I could see it in Malik Monk. I'm not coming out here to say that we're going to trade Malik Monk, but I think that based upon the Kings roster and what direction they're headed in, Malik Monk could be on the move. You have a lot of guards, a lot of freaking guards now with Dennis Schroer in the mix. It makes Malik Monk expendable and the odd man out, which I hate to say because I love Malik Monk's game. Really gave it his all in Sacramento and just played lights out every time he stepped on the court. Very unfortunate that he had to deal with season-ending injuries the last 2 years here in Sacramento. But it's crazy, man. He signed a new 4-year deal last summer, and a year later, he's possibly on the move, the next one to be on the move. And life comes at you fast, man. Life changes. Really sucks to see Malik Monk potentially go into trade eventually at some point this summer. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. The Kings are very high on Dennis Schroer. The Kings are really high on Nick Clifford. And the Kings like their young talent. So wouldn't be surprised if Malik Monk gets traded eventually. So with that being said, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on these headlines and this news. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Have yourself a great rest of your evening. Anything Kings related that breaks news, I will keep you guys up to date here. Take care. God bless. Keep pushing forward. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.